The cause of failure. Don't let it happen to you. I want to read to you, I want to share with you an article by Tracy Biller. You know how much I enjoy Tracy, and he's been at it a very long time. And he has trained more people on how to be successful, and I mean ultra successful. I don't mean make an extra $200 a month. I mean, that's, if that's what they want to do, fine, but I mean, you want to make an extra $100,000 a month. Tracy is the man to ask about that. Fear causes self-doubt, and self-doubt causes failure. A story by Tracy. Several years ago, he was hired to train a network marketing convention. Some 4,000 people were in his audience. During the Q&A session, a fellow said, calling network marketers isn't duplicatable. Tracy Biller. In front of the 4,000 people, I said to him, you're wrong, and I'll prove it right now. I then said to the audience, does anyone up here near the front have a cell phone? The lady in the third row raised her hand. Good, I said, I'd like you to do something for me. I'd like you to, right now, call someone you know well, like your husband, son, daughter, or a parent, a best friend. Don't use speed dial. I want you to punch in their entire phone number. After they answer the phone, all I want you to say is, the reason I'm calling you is because I'm at a convention. The guy on stage wanted me to call you and tell you I'm at this training. Love you. Goodbye. I want you to hang up. The lady smiled and said, okay, I'll call my husband. She then dialed his number, held the phone to her ear, and when he answered, she told him almost exactly what I told her to say. She hung up when she was done and looked at me and smiled and said, I did it! In front of the entire audience, I said to her, you were able to do this as instructed because you own a phone. B, you know how to use it. C, you're able to recite what I told you to say. What you just did, call someone and tell them something, is something you've done thousands of times throughout your life. Calling someone and telling them something or asking them something is totally second nature for all of us in this room. Everyone in this room grew up using a telephone. Not one of us has to be taught what a telephone is. None of us have to be taught how to dial a number. None of us have to be taught how to speak into a phone. All we have to do is be able to say what we are taught to say. And the 30-second pitch can be learned by virtually anyone. I paused for a few seconds, and then I said to the audience, the primary reason people don't make calls is fear. And fear leads to self-doubt, and self-doubt leads to failure. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you how as a young man I started out in real estate, and my job was to call people every evening, Monday through Friday, sitting in that office till 10 o'clock at night, calling people, asking them why they haven't selected my company to represent them in the sale of their property. That's all I did. After a while, I got good at it. My first year in the business, I listed more properties than any other salesperson in the entire Midland County Board of Realtors. But it didn't happen overnight. It happened one person at a time. Critical inch. When I thought I was done for the day and I couldn't make any more, I was just totally exhausted. I was spent. I wanted to fall on the floor when I stood up. I just couldn't do another one. I forced myself to do one more. A critical inch made all the difference over the years. At the end of 14 years, I retired owning over 300 properties. I was the first real estate broker in the entire state of Michigan to develop a buyer's broker program. I overcame my fear. It's the why I had the fear and what I did to overcome it. Fear is a choice. Choosing fear defies all logic and common sense. Calling someone on the phone and saying something that lasts about 30 seconds is easier than driving a car. It's easier than making a cherry pie from scratch. It's easier than mowing a lawn. It's easier than shopping for groceries. It's easier than painting a room. And yet, for some goofy and illogical reason, people choose to be fearful when it comes to picking up a phone and dialing a number. Why? Figure out that why. Beat it over the head with a shovel, take it out into the backyard, say a few words, dig a hole, and throw it in. And you're done with that fear. It's gone. My story, of course, was metaphorical, but so is fear. It only exists in your mind. Dialing a number and saying that 30-second pitch to someone, which quite frankly is the single most proven, persuasive, and powerful productive recruiting method for building a large downline quickly. There is no better method for building a large downline and making a lot of money in network marketing, proving by the fact that 99.9% of an industry's master distributors and top earners do just that. I then paused for a few seconds and continued saying, choosing to be fearful is nothing more than self-sabotage. And self-sabotage creates problems such as laziness, procrastination, over-analysis, and more. And all of that leads to failure. Someone out there in the audience may be thinking, yeah, but we can't control how we feel. And to that I say, that's total BS. The fact is that you are in control of your thoughts. Your thoughts control your feelings. Therefore, you control your feelings. You choose to be courageous and you choose to be fearful. Sometimes choosing to be fearful is smart, such as you don't want to fall off the cliff because your fear of being injured or dying, so you don't go near the edge. Well, that makes sense. But to choose to be fearful, making a phone call and saying something that's totally unobtrusive yet unoffensive just doesn't make any sense. Choose bravery. Choose to be courageous, because if you don't, you choose fear, you will fail. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity to help you become a better you. And I thank you for the opportunity to help me become a better me, because through practice, you have helped me become a better me.